Hello everyone, my name is Quackney, and I'm here to ask and answer one question. Can you beat Fallout New Vegas while being completely miserable? This suggestion comes from a YouTube commenter, Just Lions. Thank you, Just Lions, and they set the rules as follows. I must be fully crippled at all times. I must be addicted to every chem or drug in the game. I must be as irradiated as possible. I must play with hardcore mode enabled. And I must side with the Legion. Yikes. At least they have the decency of letting me pick my own build. This will also be the first time I play on hardcore mode, and the first time I ever side with the Legion. Some other additional information, I will be playing on the normal difficulty with hardcore enabled on the PC version of Fallout New Vegas with all DLC and some minor texture mods that I still have not reverted from a previous run. Not much else to say about this one, so let's just get on with it. Like always, we awake at Doc Mitchell's house after getting our brain rearranged by dear old Benny. I glazed through character creation, and when prompted for my name, I couldn't think of anything funny, so I just go with the classic, pee pee poo poo. When I'm on my feet again, I think for a moment that the game is broken because I cannot move, only to remember that I rebound my movement keys last time I played for a walking backwards challenge. Whoops. Then it's off to the vigor tester. I decided to go with an unarmed build this time around, so I don't have to deal with ammo weighing me down. I go with a 10 in luck, intelligence, endurance, and a 7 in strength, and dump everything else. For my tag skills, I take unarmed, survival, and medicine. And for my traits, I take skilled and wild wasteland. When prompted, I make sure to enable hardcore mode after Doc Mitchell gives me some supplies and sends me on my way. But first, I need to follow the rules of the run, so I open up the console and run a custom batch file that I made. A batch file is just a text file with lines of console commands that will all activate in order so you don't have to type them all individually inside the game. Inside this batch file, I use console commands to cripple all my limbs, set my radiation to 800, which is the highest sickness level, and give myself 100 of all the drugs and chems in the game that you can get addicted to. They are as follows: Jet, Buff Out, Ultra Jet, Mentats, Nuka-Cola Quantum, which I didn't even know you could get addicted to, Alcohol, Psycho, Med-X, Ant Nectar, Tobacco, Hydra, and Steady. So, with all those drugs in my inventory, I go through them one at a time, taking several at once until I get addicted to everything. I actually kill myself a couple times here by drinking so much alcohol that I die of dehydration, or dying from radiation from the Nuka-Cola Quantums, but I eventually get there. And don't you worry, I'm only cheating to get the challenge run going. I put all the leftover drugs in this footlocker while I loot Doc Mitchell's house. Already, the crippled head blurry effect thing that goes off every 10 or so seconds is really annoying. Also, I'm very slow with both of my legs being broken. Then, it's off into the wasteland to suffer. I go see Sunny Smiles at the saloon, and she invites me out back to shoot some bottles. It's then I learn just how hard it is to shoot when every bone in your body was crushed into dust by God. Eventually, I manage to land enough shots and move on to clearing out some geckos for Sunny. It's here I learn just how easy it is for enemies to stagger me when all my bones are broken. It will remain a problem for the entire run. After that, Sunny asks if I'd like to learn how to gather and cook food, and I tell her to fuck off. No one does that mission. Then it's back to the saloon, where I waste no time and just kill Joe Cobb where he stands, and then steal his stuff. With him dead, I talk to the folks around town about fighting off the powder gangers, grab the stealth boy from the school, and it all leads to a showdown in front of the saloon. Fortunately, I took so many drugs to get addicted at the beginning of this run that some of them are still working, so chopping through the powder gangers is easy as pie. Unfortunately, poor Cheyenne got her head chopped off. It wasn't me. Now it's time to leave Good Springs behind. I choose to rebuild my character as I leave and take the skill trait again for the exploit. Then I head to Bonnie Springs to kill some Viper Gang members to get the unique brass knuckles, Love and Hate. I also level up and put all of my points into survival. You'll see why later. Walking past the Cazadors was easy enough, though I did get stuck in the floor once. And this fight with the Viper Gang sucked. The drugs had all worn off at this point, and these guys beat my ass relentlessly. But eventually, I killed them all and claimed my prize. While I make my way to Prim, I realize just how bad the withdrawal symptoms and my broken limbs affect my special stats that I dumped into strength and endurance and are now down to 1. I then decide I should probably go back and reallocate them, but I was only quick saving. The last hard save that I made was before running my batch file. So, I do it all over again. This run is truly living up to its name. I won't make you rewatch me do the beginning, but instead of putting points into strength and endurance, I put my points into perception and agility instead, hoping I'll at least keep a couple. I also spam the dialogue options while I'm talking to Sunny, and I end up accepting the quest to learn how to cook and survive off the land. So now I have to do this quest, because Joe Cobb won't show up in the saloon until Sunny Smiles tells you to talk to Trudy. But I eventually get caught back up and start making my way to Prim. I also noticed a strange but welcome bug. I used the grenade launcher from the DLC to kill the Vipers the second time around and learned that it didn't have animations for limping and crippled limbs. And ever since I equipped it and put it away, I no longer have the crippled head blur effect. So, that's a win. You've seen this part before. I go into the casino, I kill the convicts, I free Deputy Beagle, and I reprogram Prim Slim to be the new sheriff in town. And then I hit level 4. I jump most of my points into survival until it's at 75, and then I put the rest into unarmed. My reason for going for survival is for the Rat Child perk, which gives you health regen the higher your radiation sickness is. And since mine is as high as it can get before it kills me, I'm regenning a lot. While my fists are weak, for now, this Patterganger literally cannot kill me. With the damage reduction from my armor and my healing, my health bar basically doesn't move against most low-level enemies. Though I am not invincible. Enemies that hit really hard at once are still a threat, and with multiple enemies, it's very easy for them to stagger lock me and kill me. These bighorners kicked my ass. Also, after those bighorners threw me around, the game glitched again, and I no longer had the limping animation. I don't know if this affects your movement speed, but I was definitely still very slow. Next, I arrive at Nipton, which was recently destroyed for being too much fun by the Legion. And when I speak to Wolfs about it, I tell him he's doing a super job since I'm siding with Caesar. As I was leaving Nipton, I noticed something strange. My Pip-Boy tells me that Ultra Jet Withdrawal gives me +5 strength and -2 agility, which doesn't make sense. But when I do the math, it's right. That's weird. Also, this is what my special stats look like after the drugs wear off. I don't think the restart was worth it. I was fighting some Viper gang members here and got stuck in the floor while using VATS. And then this guy, who was the only one left, wouldn't get close enough for me to VATS again and teleport out. Never change, New Vegas. Nearing the strip, I get a little thirsty and notice that something else is very strange. Apparently, minor dehydration gives me 7 endurance. Well, that's not right. It doesn't actually give me any endurance, but I don't know why it says that. I made enough caps already selling things to get past the Securitrons to the gate of the strip, so I walk right in and head straight to the tops to find Benny. When I see Benny, I don't waste any time trying to talk to him. He deserves death, and he will have it. At my hands. I level up and take the cannibal perk, then I use the stealth boy and punch him in the spine and kill him. And while I'm still invisible, I eat his corpse, which for everyone around had to be pretty traumatizing to see a man die and get ripped apart by something that isn't there. When I leave the tops, Vulpes approaches me, despite still being invisible, and tells me that I should go meet Caesar, and for once, I listen to him. But before I go meet him, I head over to Mick and Ralph's to see if I can find any weapon, and I decide I want Embrace the Mantis King. But I need 12.4k caps. So, let's go gambling! 20. I'm gonna get an ace right here. Watch this. Hell yeah, I fucking knew it. Alright. 19. A 2. I'm psychic. I'm psychic. 7, 3, 11. Double down. Always double down on 11. Boom. Face card and a 10. Instant win. King and an ace. Hell yeah. Jack and a king. I'm doubling down because the next card I'm going to get is an ace. Hell yeah, I fucking told you. Jack and the King. You know what? It happened once, and it's going to happen again. Oh my god, I'm fucking psychic. 11, always double down on 11s, and that's exactly why. Break even, fuck you. 6, 5, 11, always double down on 11. It's like I say, I'm going to hit again because the next card is an ace. Oh, fuck! Alright. No, I'm betting one fucking chip. It's going to be an ace, so I'm going to double down. That was a 10. Hell yeah, 2 chips, baby. I'm rich. I'm going to double down because this next card is an ace. I'm just so good at this game. I'm so good. They're going to take me to the back and beat the shit out of me. 18? Well, it's going to be a 3, so I'm going to bet. Yeah, that's what I thought. 18. It's going to be another 3. In fact, I'm so confident I'm going to double down. It was a 2. I still won. Still counts. All right. That's enough of that. Anyway, at some point I got interrupted and the casino gave me a gift of reinforced combat armor at near full condition worth almost 6,000 caps. I had never gotten something like this from a casino. Usually it's just booze and a gambling suit. Eventually I get my fill of gambling and I go get my weapon from Mick and Ralph's. Then it's off to meet the man, the myth, the tyrant, Caesar. He's pleased to see I accepted his invitation and wastes no time telling me he has work for me to do. First things first, he wants me to take the platinum chip I got back from Benny and use it to access a bunker nearby owned by Mr. House and destroy whatever it is that's down there. So I head over to the bunker and put the platinum chip in the console and make my way inside, where I meet Mr. House, who tries to convince me to instead follow his plan. I tell him, I'm gonna blow up your shit and there's nothing you can do to stop me. He then swears that I'm making an enemy of him, and I will sorely regret it. My response to this is deciding that Mr. House, in all future playthroughs, will always be some kind of femboy. What femboy should I make Mr. House in my next challenge run? When I make my way down, I use my Mantis Fist for the first time, and I learn that I deal almost no damage unless I crit. Then I hit pretty hard. Also, these turrets are really hard to hit with melee. Most of my attacks seem to just phase right through them, and they can easily stagger lock me. But eventually, I fight my way through the protectons and turrets to one of the power regulators that I must destroy, only to learn that apparently these things don't take melee damage, I guess. Eventually, a couple of my brain cells happen to collide, and I get the idea to throw a stick of dynamite at it, which, fortunately, does the trick. And while my brain cells are preoccupied with that, I happen to forget that part of this challenge run is having maximum radiation sickness. This area constantly gives me radiation. I think you can see where I'm going with this. Oh no, I'm dead. Oh, plus 7 rats a second. Fuck! Yeah, so after you blow up all the regulators, the rats jump up to 7 a second, and I don't have enough time to get out before I die of radiation. I also don't have any rat away. So, I have to leave Caesar's camp, travel all the way back to New Vegas, and get some rat away from the Mormon Fort doctors. Then, I return to the bunker, destroy the regulators, take some rat away, and escape with my life this time. When I return to Caesar, he's only kind of impressed, but he's thankful at least. Now, he wants resident femboy Mr. House taken care of, and by that, he doesn't mean made love to passionately as all femboys deserve. He means killed. Unalived. He wants him dead. So, I head back to New Vegas and walk right into the Lucky 38. I take out the 2 Securitrons on the ground floor and take the elevator up to the penthouse. It's here that I meet Jane. Jane is the love of my life, no matter what playthrough of New Vegas I'm in. Unfortunately, this time she stands in my way. So, I put her to rest. But I make sure to take her scrap metal off the corpse to make sure that she's with me always. With all these robots hanging around, you would think that there would be some resistance here. But nope. I walk right up to the terminals that keep Mr. House safe, and without even needing a password, I can open the doors. I find Mr. House, and he's not nearly as cute in person as he was in his bio, and I realize I've been catfished. My rage is uncontrollable, and I kill him. I return to Caesar and tell him what happened, but he doesn't seem to care that the date didn't go well. And he instead tells me to either convince the boomers to join him, or take care of them. And again, when he says take care of them, he doesn't mean with love. He means death. I don't have the skills necessary to do the boomers' quest peacefully without a bunch of extra work, so I decide to just kill their leaders, Pearl and Loyal. Also, fuck them. Killing them was easy enough, but I will admit I had a hard time getting through the bomb field while moving so slow. Yeah, Caesar's a pussy, honestly. All bones in my body are broken, and I'm addicted to everything, and this guy's gonna cry about a fucking brain tumor.
Shut the fuck up, Dylan.
What? I mean, I'm not wrong, am I?
Yeah?
Every bone in my body is broken, and I'm suffering from withdrawal from every drug known to man and some made-up ones. Anyway, Caesar asked me to gain allegiance from the White Glove Society on the Strip, and he tells me that they're cannibals, which should help with negotiations. Normally I just kill these guys, but this time around, I've eaten my own fair share of people, so I choose to make friends with them instead. Also, Caesar's head hurts because he's got cancer. Whiny baby. Getting the White Gloves help is actually pretty easy. You see, they used to eat people, but then Marjorie decided that was no longer allowed. However, Mortimer would like things to go back to the way they were before, when they ate people. So, he kidnaps a well-bred man and plans to kill him, and serve him at a banquet to reveal to the guests later that they all ate human meat, and convince them to go back to eating people. However, they kidnap the son of a rich and powerful Brahmin baron, so that complicates things. I tell Mortimer that I'll take care of things, so I go down to the freezer, kill the baron's son, and get some of his blood. Then, I go up to the baron's room and plant his son's blood in a couple of different places. After which, I go to Securitron on the Strip and I tattletale on him. The Securitron investigates the matter and finds the man guilty. With that, I'm able to convince the White Glove Society to side with Caesar's Legion, and they get to go back to eating people. Everybody wins! I return to Caesar, and I tell him the White Gloves and I are very good friends now. I also ask him about his very sudden headaches, and he brushes me off. It's okay. It's only natural to be uncomfortable with thoughts of your own mortality. Anyway, he wants me to destroy the Brotherhood chapter now. I won't sugarcoat this. I am way too weak to even attempt to fight these guys. The power armor of the Paladins would negate most, if not all of my damage unless I crit them, and even then, it probably wouldn't be great damage anyway. So, I'ma blow them up. Doing so is pretty easy. First, I get captured by the Brotherhood, then I take care of the NCR Ranger for them, and then I steal the 3 keycards needed to generate a password for the self-destruct terminal. And just like that, boom. I'm gripping with the mass death that I caused as I return to Caesar to tell him the chapter is no more. Caesar then invites me into his tent to have a private conversation. I level up to level 10 and take the finesse perk, and then Caesar finally confronts his mysterious illness and asks me what I know. With my high medicine skill, I'm able to determine that he likely has a brain tumor. He then promotes me to his personal physician, and I'm now tasked with getting some supplies for his operation. Getting the supplies is rather easy. I just go to the New Vegas Medical Clinic and purchase a doctor's bag and some surgical tools. While I'm in the area, I travel to the Strip to do some shopping, and I get attacked by the NCR. So, obviously I defend myself, which then causes the Securitrons to attack me. I basically punch and slash my way out of the Strip and never return. What a bunch of pricks. When I return to the Legion, I learn that Caesar has fallen unconscious, so it's time to perform the operation. Somehow, brain surgery only takes 75 in medicine, so I remove his tumor without any issue, and miraculously, he immediately gets on his feet and is well again. And for payment, he gives me the equivalent of 1,000 caps and Legion coins. The battle for Hoover Dam is approaching, but first, Caesar wants me to assassinate the president, so he tells me to meet up with a man named Cato, so I waste no time going to find him. I find him by a campfire and decide to actually use my survivor skills to finally make some food. And some of it is actually really strong, and I should have done this much sooner.
Oh God, it's so good. So good. So good and tasty.
Cato, like most of the Legion, does not like that I'm a woman, but goes along with the plan despite this. He tells me that we'll rest here, and tomorrow the president will arrive via vertibird, and then we must kill him. How we kill him is up to me, however, so I devise a complex plan. A plan so precise that even the smallest mistake will cost us our very lives. I take every drug I happen to have, and I just go crazy. When the slaughter is over, I level up again and take the Piercing Strike perk, a must for melee builds. Then I return to Caesar, who has already heard of my victory, and now it's time to assault the dam. I meet with the legate, we share a few words, and then the assault begins. Here's the plan. We fight across the top of the dam until we have access to the inner tunnels. Then we march through, killing everyone in sight until we have General Oliver cornered. And that's exactly what I do. Kind of. I mostly just run through the dam as the Legion soldiers beside me take care of most of the NCR for me. It was all a walk in the park until I confront the General. I made a mistake. A little oopsie whoopsie. A little fucky wucky. A little fucko boingo. This was the condition of my weapon. Whoops. Of course, my weapon didn't last, but fortunately I had a power fist with decent condition that I stole from a Legion soldier. It was a rough fight, but eventually I killed the NCR guards and the General. With that, the game is over and I can finally answer the question. Can you beat Fallout New Vegas while completely miserable? Yes. Yes you can. And honestly, that wasn't even that difficult. The run only took me about 7 hours, and that includes an hour I wasted restarting. Hardcore didn't really feel like it changed much, so I might just do all my New Vegas challenge runs in the future on hardcore. But it was fun nonetheless, and further solidifies how OP Ratchild is. Ever since I took the perk, I was mostly invincible. That HP regen is completely cracked. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you liked the video, make sure you leave a thumbs up, and if you want to see more, subscribe. Check out our Discord in the description. Leave a comment below for what challenge run you'd like to see next, and with that, I'll see you next time.